This Chhattisgarh-based founder turned his YouTube channel into a startup and became the state's first SEBI-registered investment authority. Another Chhattisgarh-based startup made it into Y Combinator's Winter 2021 batch, and they were the first startup in the state to receive YC funding. Another founder appeared on Shark Tank India and made 93 crore rupees selling spices, and these are just a couple of the incredible startups from Chhattisgarh that we'll be covering in this video. I also want to highlight the impact created by 36 Inc., Chhattisgarh's first government-sponsored incubator, and this incubator came into existence in 2018, and since then they've incubated 68 startups from the state, and half of the startups that I'm going to be talking about today were actually incubated at 36 Inc. But that's not the only thing that the state government is doing, because they've also set up the Leap of Faith revolving fund, offering a 50 lakh rupee interest-free loan for 3 years for select startups. And so without further ado, let's take a look at 10 of the most incredible startups coming from Chhattisgarh, and we're going to start off in the city of Raipur, the capital city of the state, to meet our first startup, ZOFF. And you might remember this company from their appearance on Shark Tank India's Season 2. Founded by brothers Akash and Ashish Agrawal in 2018, ZOFF is a D2C spice brand that's trying to compete with incumbents like MDH and EVREX. The two brothers spent 60 crore rupees to set up a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Raipur, and another 30 crore rupees to build offline distribution for the first 2 years. But then came the pandemic, and they ended up firing their entire sales team of 350 employees. Since then, ZOFF is focused on an online model for their distribution, and when they pitched on Shark Tank India, the brothers managed to get Aman Gupta to invest 1 crore rupees into their company in exchange for 1.25% equity, and in FY24, they ended up selling spices worth 93 crore rupees. Akash credits Aman for playing a crucial role in helping them to take ZOFF from 53 crore rupees to 93 crore rupees in revenue, and now the company wants to focus on building their offline model once again and expects to reach 170 crore rupees in revenue in FY25. Now, while ZOFF got one of the sharks on Shark Tank India to invest in their startup, this next company from Raipur was the first from Chhattisgarh to get funded by Y Combinator in 2021. Founded by Yash Raj Agrawal in 2018, GimBooks was born out of Yash's personal struggle with accounting. Back when he was trading industrial products, he found it incredibly challenging to manage his inventory and taxes using traditional software, and things got even more complicated in 2017 with the introduction of GST, which made it tough for small businesses like his to handle their own taxes. And so that's when Yash decided to create GimBooks, a cloud-based mobile-first bookkeeping app designed specifically for small and medium-sized enterprises. And with GimBooks, businesses can easily manage their inventories, purchases, expenses, ledgers, and even file their GST returns all from one place. Today, more than 20,000 businesses use GimBooks to manage their accounts and taxes, and they made 7 crore rupees in revenue in FY24, and Yash expects to close FY25 with 20 crore rupees in revenue. Now, the first two startups that I've talked about in this video were successful in raising funds from prestigious investors, but this next company's founder from Raipur used the money that he earned from his YouTube channel to build his bootstrapped business. The startup I'm talking about here is Finology, and back in 2017, Pranjal Kamra launched his YouTube channel with the goal of simplifying finance and investing for beginners. And in 2018, Pranjal's childhood friend and now his wife, Priya Jain, joined him, starting her own YouTube channel focused on making law and current affairs easy for students. This collaboration led to the birth of Finology Ventures. Now, the early days weren't easy. The first 60 videos did not perform as Pranjal had hoped, but he kept pushing forward, and by 2019, things had turned around, and Finology became Chhattisgarh's first SEBI-registered investment advisory. Since then, Finology has evolved from being just a YouTube channel to becoming a full-fledged business, and they've launched multiple investment products and courses using their Finology One subscription, which is priced at 999 rupees per month, making finance and legal education more accessible to everybody. Now, we don't have exact revenue numbers, but the company claims to have served over 1 million customers, and they've done all of this while being bootstrapped and a team of 50 people, more than 95% of whom are based in Chhattisgarh. Okay, now let's take a break from Raipur and visit Bhilai, Chhattisgarh's second largest city and the home to our next startup, Jvapa Foods. Founded by brother-sister duo Utkarsh and Shreyavata, along with their friend GV Himanshu in 2022, Jvapa Foods produces healthy rice-based snacks like noodles and vermicelli. Now, the most interesting part of their story is how they spotted an opportunity in India's rice exports. Shreya explains that while India was exporting raw rice to Asian countries, these countries were sending value-added rice products back to India at premium prices. And so these young founders saw a gap in the market and decided to fill it. They set up their own rice noodle production facility right in Bhilai, creating rice-based snacks locally in Chhattisgarh. In their first year, they served 12,000 customers and generated 36 lakh rupees in revenue, which grew to 95 lakh rupees in revenue in FY20 FY24, and recently they made their first international export to Australia, and they're expecting to close FY25 with 3 crore rupees in revenue. And what's even more impressive is they've managed to do all of this from Bhilai while bootstrapping the entire company, and Priya told us that they have no plans on raising external funding anytime soon, focusing instead on growing sustainably. This next company, Minocular, is based in Raipur, and they're adding technology to Chhattisgarh's hazardous mining industry to make it safer and more efficient. Chhattisgarh is the top producer of tin in India, and it also contributes significantly to the production of other metals and minerals like iron, coal, and limestone, all of which involve mining. This is where Minocular founders Mohit Sahu, a mining graduate, and Puru Agrawal, a computer science graduate, grew up, but neither of them wanted to get into mining due to the hazardous conditions, and instead they started a digital marketing company in 2016, but just a couple of months in, they got a pilot project from a cement manufacturer, Nuvoco Vista, which needed tech solutions for their mining surveys. And that's where Mohit and Puru realized that most mining operations had almost zero tech integration. Companies were just using pen and paper or Excel spreadsheets, and while each mining site generated tons of data, it was all stored in silos unused for optimization. Seeing this gap, they decided to pivot and started Minocular, and this company uses drones to create 2D and 3D maps to help mining companies identify optimal locations for mining. They've also built an IoT network that connects over 500 pieces of mining equipment across 9 mining sites, and by analyzing this data, Minocular helps these mines to optimize their operations, improving fleet management, planning, and overall productivity. The company generated 1 crore rupees in revenue in FY24, and Mohit expects them to hit 2.4 crore rupees in FY25. Now, while Minocular is trying to optimize the mining industry, which is still a big source of pollution, this next startup, which is again from Raipur, is building a clean future with their electric vehicles. The startup I'm talking about here is EVREX, and it was founded in 2020 by Sagar Sahu, Bhuvesh Kumar, Kunal Urkude, and Jaspreet Singh, and they're all about electric vehicles. Their flagship product, the Dino, an electric cycle, comes with a top speed of 40 kilometers per hour and a range of 60 kilometers per charge, priced at 45,000 rupees. They've also launched a number of other EV products like Wing Solar, a solar-powered cycle designed for farming, and Moto Wheel, which is an all-electric foldable wheelchair. Currently, they operate out of a single production facility in Raipur, and they can produce about 1,000 units per year, but they also partner with contract manufacturers, allowing them to scale production whenever needed. They sold products worth 9 lakh rupees in FY24, and they're in the middle of launching more products and are also providing after-sales service for major EV giants like Ather, Ola, and Hero Electric. Sagar is confident that with their new products and their partnerships with other EV giants, EVREX could reach 1 crore rupees in revenue by FY26. Okay, now let's make our way back to Bhilai to meet our next startup, Vertex Suite. Founded by Sajal Malhotra and Shailendra Anand in 2023, Vertex Suite uses the WhatsApp Business API to integrate WhatsApp chatbots with e-commerce companies. And the idea here is to help e-commerce store owners manage everything from taking orders to running marketing campaigns, all through WhatsApp. Now, they've only been operational for about a year, and they have just 10 customers, but they ended FY24 with 20.65 lakh rupees in revenue, and Sajal believes that integrating WhatsApp with e-commerce websites is crucial for small business owners looking to grow. Sajal is also planning on taking this Bhilai-based startup international with the goal of expanding to Southeast Asia and the Middle East. And he's so confident in this approach that he's expecting to close FY25 with 5.78 crore rupees in revenue, a massive 28x jump in just 1 year. Now, while Vertex Suite expects to 28x their revenue, this next startup from Raipur hasn't even launched their product into the market yet, but according to WHO's standards, India needs an additional 1 million ventilators, and right now, over 95% of the ventilators available in the country are imported, and they're extremely expensive. And we all witnessed the critical shortage of these ventilators during the pandemic when India struggled to import enough of them. And so that's what the founders of Mediklik are trying to solve. This company was started by Vikramaditya Tirthani, Prakash Tirthani, and Shivam Kole in 2016, and initially they worked on creating a vernacular AI health bot called Asha Didi, which makes healthcare more accessible to Indians, but they eventually sold that product, and then in 2019, before COVID-19 struck, Vikramaditya, whose family has been in the healthcare industry since the 1960s, recognized India's ventilator shortage and decided to take action. He set out to develop an advanced ventilator using fully indigenous technology, and Vikramaditya invested 8 crore rupees of his own money, raised 1 crore rupees from friends and family, and secured a 50 lakh rupee loan from BIRAC to set up a production facility for smart and affordable IC ventilators in India. They're now planning on launching their first ventilator, Vensi, in December of this year, and besides Besides that, they're also working on getting international certifications for other products under development, and they're planning on launching a new medical device every 6 months for the next 3 years. Despite not having sold a single ventilator yet, Mediklik already has pre-orders, but their ambition doesn't end there because they're aiming to become one of the top 5 respiratory device manufacturers globally. Now, while Mediklik wants to take care of people's physical health, this next Raipur-based startup wants to take care of people's mental health. Founded in 2020 by husband-wife duo Abhilash and Shivli Srivastava, BetterSpace is a mental health platform addressing the needs of students, parents, and working professionals. They're doing this by offering online counseling through qualified psychologists, their AI chatbot Ro, and also therapy pods that they've set up in offices and hospitals. BetterSpace has over 200 psychologists on their platform who have helped between 15,000 and 20,000 people so far. While Shivli hasn't shared specific financials, she did mention that BetterSpace recently became profitable, and in December of 2023, they raised 45 lakh rupees in their pre-seed round, which will help them to expand into the corporate wellness space and create healthier work environments for employees. And now let's take a trip to Raipur to meet our final startup, Chalbo. Founded by Amit Patel and his college friend Kishore Kumar Nayak, the journey began with an ambitious idea. They wanted to create an app that allowed users to track buses in real time, specifically in small towns and villages. However, after struggling to make that idea work, they pivoted and started Chalbo in 2018, which is a B2B taxi service catering to corporate clients in Chhattisgarh. They began operations in Raipur, and Amit still remembers their humble beginnings, making 450 rupees in profit during their first month. But fast forward to today, and Chalbo has grown significantly. They now serve 9,000 clients, generating 17 lakh rupees in revenue in FY24. Chalbo is also a profitable company. It's bootstrapped by its young founders, and Amit and Kishore have already started working on new projects now too, including a government-funded initiative and a road safety gadget, which they're planning on launching very soon. They expect these new initiatives to increase their revenue to 40 lakh rupees in FY25. Now, before I let you go, do check out the playlist in the top right corner of your screen where we've covered pretty much every state across the country and its local startup ecosystem. This playlist is a great way to stay educated on what other companies are building across India, not just in the metros, not just in the top startup cities like Bengaluru and Mumbai and Delhi, but other parts in the country, many tier 2 and tier 3 startups in this playlist. So go check it out. I really think that you'll enjoy it, and I'll catch you in the next one.